Dear students, in the previous class, we were doing the lesson Uncle Ken by Ruskin Bond. So students, in the previous class, we have seen that Uncle Ken was a very lazy person who don't want to work but want to depend on others and live his life freely. So Uncle Ken also had three sisters whom he used to depend for his living. So here, Uncle Ken grandmother, Uncle grandmother and the boy Ruskin Bond was very much worried about Uncle Ken. So what will happen in his life, or what he will do, or just he will sit and idle. So let's continue with the chapter. To our surprise, Uncle Ken was a great success in his job in the beginning anyway. So the Maharaja was such a poor tennis player that he was delighted to discover that there was someone who was even worse. So instead of becoming a double partners for the Maharaja, Uncle Ken became his favorite single opponents. As long as he could keep losing to His Highness, Uncle Ken's job was safe. So here we have seen that the Maharaja, although he liked to play tennis, but he was such a poor tennis player. He don't know how to play nicely. That was discovered by whom? By Uncle Ken. So here what happened, instead of becoming a double partner, Maharaja and Uncle Ken, what Uncle Ken did, he became his own single opponents, single favorite opponents. And as you know that his job, Uncle Ken's job was safe as long as he went on losing to the Maharaja. In between tennis matches and accompanying his employer in dark suit, Uncle Ken squeezed in a few lessons for the children, teaching them reading, writing and arithmetic. Sometimes he took me along so that I could tell him when he got his sum wrong. Uncle Ken wasn't very good at subtraction, although he could add fairly well. So here in between the tennis, Uncle Ken also teach the students, teach the children, the two children of Maharaja, how to read, how to write and how to do the arithmetic. So sometime what used to happen, Ruskin Bond also used to go with Uncle Ken, because Uncle Ken used to take with him, so that Ruskin Bond can see whether the subtraction Uncle Ken was doing and Uncle Ken gave to do the children was right or wrong. Although Uncle Ken was very good in adding, but he was not good in subtraction. So the Maharaja children were smaller than me. Here me is Ruskin Bond. Uncle Ken would leave me with them, saying, just see that they do their sums properly, Ruskin, and he would stroll off to the tennis court, hands in his pocket, whistling tunelessly. So here what used to happen is the Maharaja children were smaller than the boy, than the writer Ruskin Bond. So Uncle Ken what he used to do, he used to leave them. He used to leave them with whom? With Ruskin Bond, saying that Ruskin, just see them so that they can do their sums properly. And what he used to do, he used to stroll off to the tennis court, hand in his pocket, whistling tunelessly. Even if his pupils had different answer to the same sum, he would give both of them and encourage pet, saying, excellent, excellent. I am glad to see both of you trying so hard. One of you is right and one of you is wrong. But as I do not want to discourage either of you, I won't say who is right and who is wrong. So here see, Uncle Ken very much clever. So what he used to do, he used to, although if the sum was wrong, what he used to do, he used to pat the children, and what he used to say, excellent, excellent, and you have done good, you have tried very hard. And he used to say that although one of the sum is right and one of is wrong, but I will not tell whose one is right and whose one is wrong, because Uncle Ken, as he was very clever, he don't know whether it was right or wrong, yes or no. So to escape from the work, what he used to do, he used to say that I will not tell whose one is right and whose one is wrong, so that it will not discourage you. But that was for the benefit of Uncle Ken, he was not telling. But afterward, on the way home, he would ask me, which was the right answer, Ruskin? Uncle Ken always maintained that he would never have lost his job if he hadn't beaten the Maharaja at tennis. So here what is to happen, after on the way when they are going home, back home, Uncle Ken is to ask the boy Ruskin that whose answer was right, whether the girl answer or the boy. He used to ask this way. So what is to do, Uncle Ken is to maintain, he never used to lost, he did not want to lose his job. So what he used to do, he used to go on losing in the tennis with the Maharaja. Not that Uncle Ken had any intention of winning, but by playing occasionally games with the Maharaja, secretaries and guests. His tennis had improved, and so, try as hard as he might to lose, he couldn't help winning a match against his employer. So here what is to do? Uncle Ken, he don't have any intention of winning. What he used to have? He used to play games. Occasionally he used to play games with whom? With Maharaja, secretaries and guests. And by playing tennis with them, his tennis was very much improved. Before he don't know, but while going on playing with Maharaja, secretary and guests, his tennis was improved, and he couldn't help winning a match against his employer. So at the time what happened? The Maharaja was very much furious, very much angry. Here what Maharaja said, listen, Mr. Clarkey, he said sternly, I don't think you realize the importance of losing. We can't all win, you know. Where would the world be without losers? So here what the Maharaja is to tell, he told to Uncle Ken, Mr. Clarkey, you don't realize the importance of losing, and all the time that doesn't mean that you have to win, because the world also need a loser. The world, if you go on winning, the world will become without loser. I am terribly sorry, said Uncle Ken. It was just a fluke, Your Highness. Here, fluke means an unexpected occurrence, a surprising piece of luck. So what Uncle Ken used to say, Uncle Ken said, I am terribly sorry, I am extremely sorry, and it was just a fluke. That means it was just an unexpected occurrence, My Highness, he was telling to the king. The Maharaja accepted Uncle Ken's applause, but a week later it happened again. Kenneth Clarkey won, and the Maharaja stormed off the court without saying a word. The following day, he turned up at the lesson time. As usual, Uncle Ken and the children were engaged in a game of nought and crosses. Here, nought and crosses means a child games in which two players try to complete a row of either 3 noughts or 3 crosses down alternately in the space of a grid of 9 squares. Okay. So here what happened, at first he asked sorry to the Maharaja. Next time also Uncle Ken win the match. So it happened again. Okay, so at the time Maharaja was very much angry. He went without saying any word. He went stormily, he went out of the court, and next day he turned out at the lesson time where Uncle Ken was teaching his children. So as usual, Uncle Ken, what he was doing, he was engaged with the nought and crosses game with the children. So here what Maharaja told to Uncle Ken, listen, we won't be requiring your service from tomorrow, Mr. Clarkey. I have asked my secretary to give you a month's salary in lieu of notice. Here, in lieu of notice means an amount of salary paid to an employee who is dismissed from service without advance warning being given to him. So here, the Maharaja said, I have given your salary in advance without informing you. I have given you the salary in my secretary hand. He will pay your salary. So from next time, no need to come and teach my children. You are out from the job. So Uncle Ken, what he did, he came home with his hand in his pocket, whistling cheerfully. So Granny said, you are very early today. Why you came so early? So they don't need me anymore, Uncle Ken said. So when Granny asked the question, why you are early home today? So Uncle Ken said that they don't need me at all, and I was fired from the job, so I came early. Oh well, never mind, come in and have your tea. So Granny also didn't say anything because he was very much caring to Uncle Ken. So that reason Granny said, don't mind, it's okay, come and have tea with us. Granny must have known the job wouldn't last very long, and she wasn't one to nag. As she said later, at least he tried, and it lasted longer than most of his job, 2 months. So Granny said Granny said that I know his job won't last very long, and he will not do the job for a very long time. And she said directly, and she said that later she said that at least he tried, and this job, no, he was doing other job also, but apart from that job, this job was lasting very long, and it lasted how many months? 2 months. So this was the longest job he did in his lifetime. Okay children, I hope you are clear with the explanations. If you have any problem regarding the explanations and the chapter, you can get back to me as per the time mentioned. Thank you.